you'll all know that Tom and I are big champions of the Delaunays, and we've been using them for our élevage of our Spice de Nuit Saint-Georges barrels as well. This is a new but not new Maison. Is it fifth or seventh generation, Tom? I keep forgetting. Been around for a long time anyway. They keep digging out really old bottles for us, but only actually re-established in the 2017 vintage, if I remember correctly, when Laurent Delaunay managed to buy back the winery and resuscitate contracts around Burgundy. And in this fifth vintage, 2022, the wines were absolutely superb. Their picking started the 30th of August. Their little parcel of Bourgogne Aligoté was the very last thing they picked at the top of the hill there on the 19th of September. So Aligoté typically picked right at the end of the harvest. And we will be doing a special, in fact, it's already in the country, of the 2020 Aligoté. We'll be offering that before Christmas. They've got new winemaker, the assistant winemaker, Capucine Harrow, was assistant and now lead winemaker. I tasted, God knows, 33 or something different wines from across the Maison. And I've got to say, across the range, their style, I always find I think to be fair, Tom, their style is not worked, but it's more on the showy side. There's more use of oak, there's more establishment, I guess, of the fruit. But the 2022s really showed their sense of place. And particularly, it's sort of obvious that where they are, the Nuit Saint-Georges Premier Cru, all three of them, the Les Argilas, the Les Creux, and Les Pouillettes, all absolutely astounding, and definitely ones I'll be looking for. The other really nice thing, and sorry, Tom, you missed it because you're out of the room at the time, is that their Premier Cru, Les Petits Vougeot, is back, okay, for 2022. It's okay, Laura and I managed to snuffle that one down. Elevated, lifted red fruit, almost jumping out of the glass, soft and rounded, great acidity, sort of undulating red and blue fruit, and a bit spicy at the end. Delaunay's wines are definitely ones to be plumping for, and they sort of show on the showy side when they're younger. And when we had older wines at the 1243 Club with our Spice syndicate that we took out, the older wines really resolve and become more elegant, balanced, but they still have really great, intense primary fruit. So, yeah, absolutely wonderful tasting, but very wide tasting as ever at Maison Edouard Delaunay. And that's always the difference between, I guess, Maisons and domains.
It's interesting, Nathan, that I had the last couple of bottles of the first vintage of the Petit Vougeot, the 2017, at an event a couple of weeks ago, and a very different vintage. But even with those few extra years maturity, there's some wonderful terroir influence coming out. The wines are, they show in a very hedonic fashion, but they don't at any point lose track of their sense of place. So I think I will be very excited to try the Petit Vougeot. That's a great vineyard for those of you who can. I suggest strongly to look up where it is, and you'll realize what a prime site it is. Sort of just right by Clos Vougeot, Amoureuse, and some of the greatest vineyards right on that border with Musigny and Vougeot.